Poor man's Glock. Hey guys, welcome back. Clint here with American Patriot Defense. Just hit 1,000 rounds on a platform. Figure I'd do ahead and just do my thoughts on this optic and gun combo while I was out here on the range. While I've got some time, so just hit, like I said, just hit the 1,000 round mark. So I've been saying for a while now that I would probably never buy another Glock again, and that is somewhat of a lie because I did order a new COA, the Glock X or whatever that comes with the optic, the Glock that comes with the optic. Just because in my profession I get a really good deal on it, and the individual officer price on that is ridiculous, and they're definitely marketing that to law enforcement for sure, 100%. And I'll make a video about it. 100%, be completely transparent. But that being said, that brings me to this little gem of a gun. First off, I have no it's a Palmetto dagger. Okay, Palmetto State Armor dagger. Clear. Okay. I have no affiliations with Palmetto. Bought this with my own money. There's tons of videos out there with the reviews of the dagger, but I haven't done one, so I'm going to do one. This is a full-size grip and the 19 size slide. They call it their full-size gun, so it's almost like a 45 essentially. And I've got this is not the new Osite. This is the older generation Osite. So I don't have the newer Osite, but this is the older Osite on here. And then I've got just a regular TLR1 S on here. I think altogether between the optic gun and this is like their really tricked out gun and the light and I don't like hinge triggers. If you know anything about the dagger comes with a hinge trigger. Not a fan of them. So I went to Johnny Glock and got one of their performance shoes. It's like $22 and put that on there. Okay. And that's it. That's all I've done to it. Internals are stock. And I'm going to throw some clips of me shooting it, doing bill drills. Of course, I'm used to a Walther trigger. I'm a Walther guy. I like shooting Walther. I'd love to shoot for Walther, but I'm not that good. So, but, so it took me a while to get used to it a little bit, but man, 1,000 rounds, zero cleaning, other than maybe a couple of drops of oil every 500. I think I did it at 500, and that's it. And then I zeroed the optic with 147 grain HSTs at 25, and then it's printing a little low with the 124s that I'm shooting. It's printing about an inch low at 7 and 10 yards. So I'm going to call that just the shift in ammunition. But for plinking and practical use, it's good enough. Good enough. I can hit what I'm shooting at. But holy cow, brand without no flaw. And the really surprising thing about these little setups is ergonomically they are just superior. I'm not a big fan of this hump here, but I mean, I'm sure you can trim that down. You can do a grip reduction or something, but it doesn't bother me. I prefer this over the Glock angle, the Glock hump. I'm not a fan of this individual knuckle. Again, you can trim that down. You can get rid of that. I mean, these frames are like $49 or $59. They go on sale all the time for less than that. So play around with them. I mean, you can buy several and learn how to stipple yourself, or do some frame modifications and see what works for you. One thing I have to say, after shooting like a really high undercut gun for so long, like I've had my Walther done by Monsoon, um, and even my steel frame Walther, the undercuts are more forgiving. I think I would definitely, and I'm probably going to take a Dremel and do a double undercut on this. I think it will help my purchase a little bit better. Again, the frames are like $50. If I mess it up, order another frame. Not a big deal. Destroy the old one, keep the old one, whatever. Not a huge deal. Um, and I haven't had any issues with it, like I said. But the cool thing is if I do have issues with it, I can either replace it with a palmetto part inexpensively, or I can throw a Gen 3 Glock part into it as inexpensively. So it just really depends on what route you want to go. So this is going to be, like I said, this is a kind of a two-part video. So the gun, zero complaints with it. Zero complaints. Actually, let me turn you guys around real quick. I mean, that's my last 250 rounds of the 500, and this is all shot at 7 and 10 for the most part. So if you see the pasters are what I throw out, and I'm trying to be quick, but anything that doesn't have a paster over it really was all in the A zone. And these weren't, I wasn't trying to shoot slow or methodical, or anything on it. I mean, I was trying to shoot really quick, run the gun really hard. So just shows that, I mean, the gun will run. I think another really cool thing about the gun is, I mean, if you're wanting to get into competition shooting on a budget, that's a really good option to get into competition shooting on a budget. Not that Glocks are expensive or Smiths and Wessons are expensive, but you think about, you can save another $150, $200 on the gun, and you can put that towards ammunition and really start developing really good skills. I think he's done shooting, so I can take these off now. The guy right next to me in another bay, so I apologize for that. As for the optic, I think I paid around $150 for this. I got it on sale. The recharging factor on it, that's cool, but I think it's a solution to a non-existent problem. Just change your batteries every year, and you won't have to worry about it. The issue is you're tethered to that charging case. So if you lose that charging case, your optic's done. But at the same time, it's such an inexpensive option. You can get into another one really inexpensive. That being said, the screws that it came with a ton of screws. I think the option, since it was on, I got it on sale, and it came with a Picatinny mount too, with a bunch of more screws. But yeah, the glass is good enough. You get a little bit of distortion on the edges. The glass size is like a 507 comp, so big glass, like a TV screen. Buttons are good. I mean, it's midday here right now. Plenty of brightness inside that range. Range. You kind of want to not like it because you spend so much money on other optics, whether it's a Holosun or Trijicon. I mean, I got RCRs and Trijicon HDs and 507 comps and EPS carries, and you spend all this money on other optics, and then you find one that's 150 to 200 bucks that's working as good as those, and it kind of crawls under your skin a little bit. But I really don't have any complaints about it, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Again, I'm not a huge fan of being tethered to the rechargeability on it. I think at 1,000 rounds, I could honestly say, and as hard as I've ran this pistol, I would trust it. I don't know. what is duty use? That's kind of relative. I don't know if I would trust it for duty use, just because you're going to have a lot more QC, quality control issues, probably out of the company. But I haven't really messed with the auto adjust on it very much. I've kind of gone away from auto adjusts and just kind of just do my own manual adjustments. But the limited experience I had with it, it worked fine. It looked like it transitioned really good. There was a noticeable transition in like a shift in transition. It wasn't like the SCSs where the shift was a more of a natural shift. This was a noticeable flicker shift, I felt like. So that was one thing to note. But again, if you're just running on manual mode, really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I really don't have any negatives to say about it. The glass is good enough, clear enough, and it worked. And with the Gen 2s coming out at around the same price point, they're probably only better. And they came out with an enclosed emitter option for the concealed carry world. So, that's, to me, it's a good thing. They're going to keep the price on these more expensive optics down, and they're offering an option for people to get into something that's good or useful. So again, I mean, this, with 1,000 rounds, full size light, full size optic, and a full size gun, well under $600. I think I'll run the numbers and I'll post it in this or mention it, but I want to say it's well under $600. I want to say probably right at 5, or a tick under 5, or a tick over 5 is where I'm at. I should have probably had that when I come here, but I think the optic was 150, the gun was 360 or 370, and the light was like 100. So whoever's good at math, we can do that math real quick. So I think it's about what I paid for everything, and then the trigger was like in 22. So a really inexpensive way to get into either competition shooting or get into a potentially good concealed carry full size option. But yeah, that's kind of my view on the Palmetto Dagger. I think this is the SV2 slide cut. I liked it. I like the green with the copper, and the Olight Osite, and the TLR1S sucks. You need more lumens, but it works. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Just something, food for thought, something to put out there. Not saying it's the best one out there, but it's not the only choice out there. But I'm saying that it's to be considered. Something out there to be considered. So, all right, appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.